Hi, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I'm not sure if this is exotic or not, but at least it's a little bit rare. I haven't seen a single video about this online. This is Rising Creek Bourbon. Now, Rising Creek Bourbon was extra produced for the Liquid Barn from the Terressentia, which is TerrePURE, which belongs to the O.Z. Taylor Distillery. Now, they're famous, or infamous, maybe we can say, for their accelerated maturation process. So I'm going to pour this. I actually like the bottle. The bottle is solid. This is a heavy bottle. Now, first of all, the question is, how did Jason in Germany get his hands on a Liquid Barn exclusive bottling? Well, to be honest, Jason went to an auction site in England, bought this bottle for £16, which is about 20 euros, which is about $24, and had it sent over here to Germany for a fairly decent price. And I had never seen it before. I just bid on it because, hey, I was like, it's bourbon. Let's see what I can do with it. I'm going to make a video about it anyways. Never seen it. It's 75% corn. It's 21% rye, so it's a fairly high rye. And it's 4% malted barley. And this actually won a silver medal at the International Wines and Spirit Competition in England in 2017. 45%. Now, I don't know if you know Winchester bourbon. It's like the cousin. I actually liked more or less the Winchester rye. The Winchester bourbon, I just want to pour down the drain. Luckily, I only had a little sample of it. And what I was doing while I was researching this is I found something that was very, very interesting. I found out that the O.Z. Taylor Distillery in Kentucky, in Owensboro, I think, Kentucky is now number 10 on the list of the largest distilleries of the U.S. Number one, as everyone probably knows, is Jack Daniels, which has twice the capacity as the second biggest, which is Heaven Hill. And then the interesting thing that I didn't know was the third largest distillery is Jim Beam in Boston, Kentucky, not Claremont, Boston. Then Buffalo Trace, then Brown-Forman. Shelby, I think it's called. Then we have, and tied for place 6, according to the list I found online, the Jim Beam distillery in Claremont, Kentucky, which I visited, as well as the Barton 1792 in Bardstown. Then we have Four Roses, then Maker's Mark, then Wild Turkey, then the O.Z. Taylor Distillery, which they just opened up and expanded in Owensboro, Kentucky. Then we have the brand new distillery, which is in Bardstown Bourbon Company, which just started up 2018. Then in place 12, position 12, we have MGP. Now, I always thought MGP was pushing out all this juice to all the world. I thought they were much bigger, but apparently not. And then we have Dickel, and then we have Bullet, and then a couple other ones. And finally, I think number 16, 17, 18, around there, is then Angel's Envy. I didn't know that. All right, so I gave it a moment in the glass, and the interesting thing is just a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde bottle. On the one hand, it's actually not bad, but on the other hand, it is. So, my nose, the nosing. So I get some sweet tobacco notes combined with some bitter, almost like a Jägermeister type of spice. Ugh. It's sweet and bitter at the same time, which really doesn't make much sense. But the TerrePURE process is basically they take ultra sound and they blast the bottles and barrels, and they try to get rid of all these they call them the secondary spirits, the minor spirits, I think is what they call them. We want to have a lot of ethanol in here. We don't want meth. We don't want I don't know my name of all the different alcohols at this moment. There's 3 or 4 different bad alcohols that we don't want in there that give us a bad taste, that give us a hangover, and so on. And they actually can convert these not so good alcohols through that ultrasound process into halfway decent. And it really does say at the back of the barrel, at the back of the bottle here, aged a minimum of 6 months in new oak. 6 months. Yay. Product the USA. So a fine sipping whiskey with a long, smooth finish. By the way, the finish is atrocious. Featuring rich oak flavor and undertones of toffee and spice. I think I mentioned the spice. It's, as I said, that Jägermeister. That's that spiciness. And that toffee is that sweet. And they do fight against each other, to be very, very honest here. It almost burns. Wow. Oh, and the end. The finish is really, really kind of nasty. You see my face just contort. And it's still sweet, and yet it's still bitter. It's really, really an interesting, disgusting whiskey. As I said, Jekyll and Hyde. Wow. And it's a smooth finish. Talk about a lie. Yeah, a fine sipping whiskey with a long, smooth finish. My mouth is almost on fire. In my German video, which I did, I just took the four rows of single barrel and just compared it. This is 50%. This is smooth. This is sipping. This is crafted in a way that I just love it, with all the different notes of the tobacco leaves, of the pecan, of the butterscotch, of the cotton candy. Everything's there that you really need. I think I mentioned pecans. Nice, 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 nice stuff. This really isn't. All right. So one last thing I'm going to do, I'm actually just put a little bit of water in here. Try to tame it down just a tiny bit, down to 40-some%, or down to maybe 38. It gets sweeter with water, which is nice. It's still bitter. It's still a lot of alcohol. It still burns. It's still very hot. Yeah. All right. So my recommendation is don't buy. So I'm going to give this a D+. I've had worse. I've had much, much better. Now, the value for money, it was actually, as I said, I paid $22, $23 for this over here in Europe. I think the selling price at Liquid Barn was $24. If you want a fantastic, heavy bottle, go for it. If you want to try something totally different, go for it. But do not expect a nice, smooth sipping whiskey. This is just going to kick you in the face and kiss you. As I said, it's sweet and bitter, and it's very, very interesting, but not my cup of tea. So, superior, what does it say here? There's a nice little thing here. Superior craftsmanship. Wow. I must admit, the bottle's nice. All right, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. My question of the day is, of the top 12, which is your favorite distillery? Is it JD? Is it Heaven Hill? Is it Beam? Buffalo Trace? Brown-Forman? Four Roses? Maker's Mark? Wild Turkey? OZ Taylor? Bardstown Bourbon Company? MGP? Dickel? Or Bullet? So I think I'm going to have to go for Buffalo Trace. I just like Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. Still one of my favorite whiskeys is the Eagle Rare 17. And so that would be mine. But what is your favorite of all the different bourbon producing big names out there? Thank you very much for watching. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, early in the morning over here, my videos come out. Please watch, please like, please subscribe. Bye-bye.